Today we are going to focus more on navigation, and in particular airplane navigation. So there's 5 steps that you need to follow to do these problems, and I'll break them down one at a time. So the first thing is to draw a picture using 2 quadrants. So if I zoom in over here, this is just an example of what it could look like. So the first thing you do is you draw yourself an XY grid. Then you read your problem and you figure out what direction and magnitude is your plane going in. And once you figure out the direction, you'll draw its vector and you'll label the magnitude on that vector. Then we have to draw ourselves another XY grid wherever we have our plane ending. And at this point, we need to figure out how the wind is affecting our plane. Once we know its magnitude and direction, we go ahead and draw its vector. The angle between the plane speed and the wind speed will always be a 90-degree angle, because obviously we're dealing with right triangles right now. Now what we have to do is we have to turn it into a right triangle by connecting where the plane started to where the wind pushed it. And this area is what we're going to be finding, which is going to be our ground speed. The other thing you'll notice in this picture is that there is an angle that you will need to find right here, and that's going to be our theta. Once you have drawn that, sometimes it can look a little messy. So the second step is to draw a clean triangle with all the given information, basically without the XY grids. Then your third step is to go ahead and use Pythagorean theorem to find the ground speed. So again, our ground speed we call GS here. So basically this is a manipulation of Pythagorean theorem, like I said. So the ground speed squared is equal to whatever your plane speed squared is plus whatever your wind speed squared is. So you will use this formula every time in order to find your ground speed. Once you've found your ground speed, you'll need to go on and try to find your true course. So to find your true course, there are 2 steps. So the first thing you need to do is you need to find your theta, like we had in our picture. In order to find our theta, we will always use a tangent ratio in these problems of your wind speed over your airplane speed. You may notice here we're trying to find an angle, so in the end, instead of using tangent, we'll do a tangent inverse of our wind speed over our plane speed. The last step is to figure out if you add or subtract your angle from the original heading to find your true course. So if I zoom in over here a little bit, I'll give you an example of what it is to add and what it is to subtract. So in this problem here, you notice I tried to go to my solid line, but the wind pushed me further to my dashed line. So if it pushed me further, what am I going to go ahead and do? I'm going to add my original heading to my theta. In the second drawing over here, I was pushed to my solid line to start with, and then what happened? I got pushed backwards. So if I got pushed backwards here to my dashed line, what am I going to do? I'm going to subtract theta from my original heading. So we're going to go through 2 examples to make sure that this makes sense. So in my first problem here, it says a plane flies 170 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and highlight that. With a heading of 52 degrees. So let's just take that information right now and draw our picture. So step 1, first thing I do is I make myself my XY grid. Okay, and then I take my angle measure. So it says 52 degrees. So if I start from true north, I'm going to go a little bit, not too far, because I don't want to get to 90. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my plane at 52 degrees. I need to make sure and label my plane speed, which was 170 miles an hour. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make another XY grid where my plane was trying to go. So if I zoom out a little bit, let's figure out what the wind is doing to our plane. So it says wind currents are 35 miles per hour at 142 degrees. So 35 miles per hour at 142 degrees. So I go back to my drawing, 142 degrees. I'm going to start at 0, go to 90, go a little bit further. Doesn't want to curve for me. That's my 142 degree angle, and I'm going to go ahead and make my wind come out here. Excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and label it with 35 miles per hour. Sorry, tickle in my throat. Don't want to start over. Then I'm going to go ahead and turn it into a right angle. So this is my right angle over here. And I go from where my plane started all the way out here to where my wind pushed me. And I label this with my ground speed. And that's what I'm trying to find. Remember, my theta is always going to be between where my plane started, where it ended up, so right in here. So this triangle looks a little complicated, so what I always do at this point, again, is to draw a clean triangle. So if we come down here, what I have done here is I have drawn my airplane speed of 170, my 90-degree angle, my wind speed of 35, and my ground speed here that I'm trying to find in the next step. And again, my angle that I'm trying to find is in here. For step 3, we need to go ahead and use our formula to find our ground speed. Again, our ground speed squared here is equal to our airplane speed, which we knew to be 170 squared, plus our wind speed, which we knew to be 35 squared. Now when I'm solving this, I want to go ahead and make sure I square root my ground speed to find my final answer. So here in the next step, you can see my ground speed is equal to the square root of my 170 squared plus my 35 squared. So I'll just give you a moment to plug that into Desmos. And when you did that, you should have ended up with a ground speed of 173.6 miles per hour. I should have made that blue. Now for step 4, it tells us to use a tangent ratio. And to find our theta, we're going to do a tangent ratio of our wind speed, which we knew to be 35, over our airplane speed, which we knew to be 170. So like we talked about before, in order to find our theta, if we don't know the angle, we do a tan inverse. So our theta is equal to the tan inverse of 35 over 70. I'll give you another moment to plug that into your calculator. And when you have finished doing that, you should have ended up with theta being 11.6. So for our last step, we have to figure out if we're taking that 11.6 and adding it to our original heading or subtracting it. So let's take a look back at our picture. So our original picture I was trying to go to my pink line, which is 170. But what happened from my 52 degrees, I got pushed further to my blue line of the ground speed. So what am I going to do with that 52 and the theta? I'm going to add it. So again, I take my original heading of 52 and I add it to what I just found, 11.6, and that gives me a true course of 63.6 degrees. Now I know that was a lot. We're going to go through one more example that's slightly different to make sure that you get it. So in this problem, it says a plane flies 200 miles per hour with a heading of 260 degrees. The wind is blowing from 350 with a speed of 15 miles per hour. Find the ground speed and true course of the plane. So the only difference here is the wind. Usually when people talk about wind speeds, they don't say the direction it's going at, they say where it's coming from. So this is actually more applicable in the real world. So again, let's go ahead and start by making our picture. So I start out by making, just kidding, because I've already done this, sorry. We start with our plane, which is our other XY grid. I tried to go too fast there. So what's happening with our plane? It says our plane is flying 200 miles per hour with a heading of 260. So let's go ahead and draw that in. So 260, so I start at 0, go through 90, go through 180, and not quite to 270. There's my 260 degree angle. I don't know why it does that sometimes, sorry. Or 200 degree angle, sorry. No, 260 was right. Oh my gosh, I do not want to start this whole thing over. I'm sorry. Go ahead, you'll make mistakes too. We all do, right? So I go ahead and draw out my angle of 260 degrees, and I go ahead and label that with my 200 miles per hour. It's very easy to get those confused sometimes. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and figure out what's happening with my wind. So here it says my wind is blowing from 350 with a speed of 15 miles per hour. So I draw my second XY grid over here where my plane's trying to go. Okay, and the from 350. So if I go 0, 90, 180, 270, I'm not quite at 360, I'm at 350. But if it's coming from this vector, that means it's pushing it in the opposite direction. So what's actually happening is you're coming down here. Now I need to turn it into a right triangle. So where my plane was trying to go, I bring it over here to where the wind has pushed it. And I label that my ground speed. Remember also that we are going to have to find our theta, which is always over here at the start with where your plane was trying to go. So step 1 is done. That's the hardest step. The rest are a lot easier. So I'm going to, over here, I've drawn my clean triangle. So I go ahead and I label my plane 200 miles per hour. Started from this side though. And then it created a 90-degree angle with our wind. And our wind speed was 15. And we are going to find our ground speed. So from where my plane started, over here to where the wind pushed it, my ground speed. Remembering that the angle that we were trying to find is going to be right in here, theta. So for this next example, I've gone ahead and I've skipped a step. And instead of starting with ground speed squared equals plane speed squared plus wind speed squared, I've gone to the next step and I've already square rooted the ground speed. So I've got ground speed is equal to the square root of my airplane speed squared plus my wind speed squared. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a moment to plug that into Desmos. And when you do that, you should end up with the ground speed being 200.6 miles per hour. So you can tell here your wind speed was so small that it hardly affected the airplane speed at all, with its original speed being 200. For step 4, in order to find my theta, again, I've skipped a step here. So my theta, instead of setting up the tan of theta equals wind over plane, I've jumped to the fact that I know it's going to be a tan inverse. So it's going to be the tan inverse of my wind speed over my airplane speed. So again, I'm going to give you a moment to plug that into Desmos. And when you have completed that, you should end up with your angle being 4.3 degrees. Now to find our true course, we have to go back to our picture. This is why our picture is important. So I'm looking at where I started from over here. So I was trying to go 260 degrees, this ugly little pink curve I've got here. So I was trying to get all the way to the pink, but what happened here? Let me go ahead and fix that a little bit. So I was trying to go all the way to my pink line, but what happened? My wind pushed me backwards. So what will I do with that 260 and the theta I found? Subtract. So my true course is going to be my original heading of 260 minus the angle I just found to be 4.3. And when I do that, I get the final answer of my true course to be 255.7 degrees. And that is all for Chapter 2 notes.